Anyway, the next thing that's come up is the news that, well, because Bray Wyatt got fired from WWE, the rumors of where he's going to show up next. And some people are thinking AEW. And speaking of that, actually, it was leaked that there were plans for him to debut on September the 29th, which is coming up in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight, September. So that would be an episode of Dynamite, I presume.
Yeah, but whether or not they're actually going to go ahead with that, like, I don't know.
So how is that actually confirmed, or is it just a rumor still?
It's still just a rumor, but it's possible, because the reason why it's being rumored is because on that night it's in Brody Lee's hometown, who, you know, obviously Bray Wyatt teamed with in WWE. Yeah, so they're thinking that's also why they're having the sort of storyline with the Dark Order not really working. So
Bray Wyatt's going to come in and fix the Dark Order with his magic powers.
Yeah, that's basically that's like what they've got planned for him.
Okay. Well, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that's a good signing for AEW?
The thing about Bray Wyatt, to me, is that he was always kind of a budget undertaker. Like, he wasn't really, like, on that level in terms of being a main eventer, in terms of being a top guy. I don't think Bray Wyatt ever got there. But I do think that, like, he has a lot of fans.
Do you not think he...
No, not even as the Fiend.
All right, okay.
No, personally, like, I'm not too over on... Like, don't get me wrong, I like Bray Wyatt. I like his shit. I like his gimmick. I like his style. I like, you know, just the creepiness factor of it. It's really cool. But in terms of, like, main event caliber matches, like, he hasn't delivered that. And in terms of... I think he slots very well into the mid-card, you know?
Yeah,
and he's a good mid-carder.
I would agree with you. Like, he hasn't really had that standout match before. And my main criticism of him is that he's just too... He goes too off the deep end and he doesn't know when to rein it back in. Like, when I think about his WWE promos, whether it was as, you know, the old school Bray Wyatt stuff as like the cult leader or whatever, or even his what was it, Playtime Funhouse, I can't even remember what it was called now. All that stuff, like, what I would say is, like, he's a very good actor, and, you know, he'd be good in a HBO drama or something, but he doesn't know how to rein it back in and bring it into, like, wrestling. Like, he doesn't really respect the wrestling format enough. So I can't like sit here and think of, like, any memorable Bray Wyatt promo that stands out in the memory. I just remember, like, this drone or blur of, like, various, you know, long-winded, ranty, you know, overly scripted. Well, I'm not even sure if they were scripted. They were just very, like, you know, wordy promos, and there was never, like, that big moment that he ever really had. I recall maybe there was, like, one promo he cut in the ring which was good before WrestleMania, I think against The Undertaker or something. But even that, like, I can't even remember exactly what that was because, you know, it doesn't stay in the memory. So I think, like, when I'm looking at AEW too, I'm looking at someone like Malachi Black who sort of does that exact shtick, but I think he actually does it better. Like, when I'm thinking of him, I can actually recall, like, lines from his promos and stuff. Because he does it in a wrestling way. He doesn't do it in, you know, a Hollywood kind of way. And I think that's the difference maker there.
Yeah. I think that Bray, like, in terms of AEW getting him, that would be huge. And it would definitely, like, shift the scales a bit. But in terms of, like, long-term, CM Punk said he's been there long-term. Daniel Bryan said the same thing. Bray Wyatt, you know, he could be in Impact in 3 years, honestly. Like, he's not essential to the company. He's not, like you know, someone they're going to build around. You know, it's how when CM Punk debuted and when Daniel Bryan debuted, they treated it as like it was this event, like it was this massive thing. When Adam Cole debuted, they were just like, whatever. He's just one of the boys.
So and you think they're going to do that with Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, I think they're just going to slot him in as the leader of the Dark Order, and they're just going to go, okay, he's there now.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a pretty underwhelming debut if he was just the leader of the Dark Order. Like, if it was me, I'd just have him come in and clean house, like, big time, if you want to get him over big. But I would say this actually about Bray Wyatt. With AEW being a TV 13 show rather than PG, you might actually be able to get away with a lot more stuff that he wouldn't be able to in WWE, like a lot darker content, which might actually be pretty cool. And there's not that like stale WWE Vince McMahon kind of script writing there that has ruined so many wrestlers over the years. So who knows? Maybe he'll come in and like have a brand new shine to him. Who knows?